Ready?
Yeah,
right.
Go.
Hi everyone, welcome to a very special Rusty's Rustic Pantry. I'm Russ, this is Ste.
Hello.
So there we've come up with Rusty's Rustic Pantry. And it's a very special video because A, we're dressed up all smart.
Smart.
We don't normally do this, but you know, we've gone out on the limb for this because we have some good friends in TV world who have turned around and asked if we'd be interested in taking part in a cooking competition. So what we're going to do for you tonight is typical Rusty's fare. It's no frills, no spills, it's just very, for want of a better word, very rustic. So we're doing some braised short beef ribs that we hope to eventually serve on a bed of, what else are we going to serve it on?
Barbecue beans.
Barbecue beans and, what was it else?
Bourbon and bacon.
Bourbon and bacon beans, yeah, with, what else was I going to serve it on?
You said it's potato, but not potato.
It's here. Never cooked it before. Polenta.
Lots of stuff.
Polenta. So we're going to try some polenta. We've not done this before. This is a little bit different to what we normally do when it comes to beef ribs. We normally cook these slow cooked, smoked on a barbecue. We're going to be cooking these in an oven. So this is a first take for us. So what we're going to start off with, you saw earlier today with the video shot before where we went to the meat market in Liverpool, where I got these from. Now, the problem with going to wholesalers is yes, you do have to buy the whole joint of meat that you buy, that you want. So this is the whole Jacob's Ladder. That's the other name for beef short ribs. Very, very nice guy, Roy. I buy all my stuff from him, the pork, the lamb, the beef. Just cut up lengthways for us so that what we can do now is actually portion this off into individual ribs. So what I'm going to do, I'll try and hold this up to the camera actually because these are quite chunky. If you look at that, there's an awful lot of meat on this joint. Now, because it's the ribs and because obviously, without wanting to sound too disgusting, it's where the animal breathes from, these joints of meat are constantly in motion. So the beef and lamb, whatever you buy, the overworked joints tend to be tough. So they need a little bit of extra care when it comes to cooking. But these guys, when you chop them down into individual portions, like we have here, won't take that long to cook and they have immense flavour. If you think about brisket that becomes corned beef and that sort of thing, how flavoursome that is. When you think about shin of beef, when you put that into things like stews, lamb shank, again it's the lower part of the lamb leg, it's an overworked muscle. They're cheap, but if you look after them, you treat them right, they're absolutely fantastic. So what we're going to do first of all is actually portion this up. So we've got a nice sharp knife in there. When you come to carving meats, you do have to have the right equipment to do it. Now on these particular joints, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you get to this end of the joint, it's a little bit more gristly perhaps, and that will take an awful lot longer to cook. So if you're doing this with plenty of time, if you're doing it slow cook on a barbecue or something like that, that's great, it's not a problem. But for us today, we're looking at some of the smaller pieces to cook it nice and quick. So we're going to cut between the bones, straight through. We'll just put this out of the way. See? Same with this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. At the end of the bones, which is that point there, we'll take them out of the way. And that is something we will look at cooking, or even just putting it down in the freezer to use it another day. So I'm going to take some joints from here in between the bones. I don't know if you can see the bones here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. They get gradually thicker as they go along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 from this end, which is 1 here, straight the way through. And another one there. Notice I'm using a nice big steak knife to get through these because they are quite thick. Sharpen that a bit more. We've got 2 more bones here, so straight for the middle of those. And we'll cut the other ones up as well, because I think what we'll have to do, we're not actually going to cook all of these tonight, so we'll freeze them off for use at a later date.
Stick them there for the fridge.
Cheers, mate, thank you. The last one, these are the biggest ones. Which one should we cook? Bearing in mind we're going to have to eat them tonight for our tea.
Big ones.
Big ones?
Big ones.
Big ones.
Big
You're,
ones.
you're not worried about portion control now?
No.
As you can see, I'm very concerned about portion control.
I just like food.
I was once told by a very wise man that fat people are harder to kidnap. So that's been my philosophy throughout life, to be perfectly honest. And also, it's the one thing that the bank can't take away from me. So, apart from the house and the wife.
Yes.
Okay, so that's us cut these in nicely. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to braise these probably for about 2 hours. And what we're going to do now is sort out the braising liquor. What I'll just show you now is, if you have a look at one of these large ribs, look at that. You've got that initial bone there. You've got some fat marbling through it, and also a little bit of a fat cap there as well. While this cooks, all that will render down out of the beef, and the beef, you actually have problems keeping the beef on the bone when these are cooked right. What we'll do is, you'll see later, we'll probably use some of that residue within this tray to put with our barbecue beans and that sort of thing, and also with the glaze that we put on the beef rib itself. So we're going to put these in here now, bone side up. We should 4,
Yeah.
4, yeah.
Do
Go
for
on.
lunch tomorrow.
Lunch for tomorrow as well. What's tomorrow? Saturday?
Saturday.
Yeah, that'll do. Saturday will do. Got a larger one there. And another one there. Actually, tell you what, we'll have that one. That's got more marbling through it. So we've got 4 ribs in there. Steve, can I just ask you to take them out of the way and just look after them, because they're going to be for the next couple of weeks. Okay, so to this, first of all, we'll get rid of the, we've got rid of the cutting board for the meat. I'm just going to wash my hands now, because we're going to move on to some of the vegetable cutlets we're going to do with these ribs. So we've got, very simply, two bulbs of garlic, and all I'm going to do is cut those in half, like so. Tuck them in nicely to either side. I've also got a red onion. The reason I use red onion is because it's so much sweeter than normal the white onions, and all I'm going to do is cut it into quarters, straight the way down, trim off the root, because you don't really want the roots in your food, trim off a little bit of the top, then cut in half again, place it between the garlic. Now on top of that, we have already prepared some wonderful beef stock. I'm going to pour some of that stock into here and over the top. Now this is going to be our braising liquor, not the liquor you drink, not the alcohol, completely different type of liquor. But when I mention alcohol, beef and ale goes really well together. So I've chosen my particular favourite, a little hobgoblin. There are lots and lots and lots of other ales available, but this is my particular favourite A for drinking and B for cooking with. So I'm going to pour that into the stock as well. Now because these ribs are quite chunky, I'm going to fill up most of the tray with the liquor because we need to come quite high. Then we're going to cover the whole lot with tin foil and make sort of an airtight parcel over the top so that the beef sort of roasts and steams at the same time, because we don't want to be spending hours and hours waiting for this to cook. We want to cook no more than a couple of hours, perhaps 2.5 at the most. So we're going to make a lovely nice little parcel. What do you reckon, mate? Smell that?
Good.
Yeah, beef stock smells amazing, doesn't it?
Not quite sure I can wait 2.5 hours, but
Depends if I'm really rare or not, doesn't it? So just make sure that the foil is nice and tight all around it. So you're going to keep all that heat, all that flavour with the garlic, the beef stock, the onion, all inside there. And we're going to put this into an oven at, what gas mark is that, Steve?
it's about 5.5, 5.5, 6.
Turn it down to maybe just
4.
to 4, yeah.
There we go.
We're going to leave this for 2 hours, which means, hey, you can pop off and have a drink, you know, do the chin wag, talk crap for an hour, you know, as lads do.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and we'll look at prepping the polenta, and also now what we'll have to do straight away is we're doing the bacon beans. Now this is bacon bourbon beans. The beans we will do for you tonight will knock anything out of any ballpark, anywhere you go in the world. I guarantee you that, because we simply have some of the world's best ingredients to go into this that isn't available anywhere else apart from Rusty's Rustic Pantry. Okay, so we'll talk to you in a couple of minutes.
Right, okay then, so the beef briskets are in the ribs are in the oven. While we do that, we're going to have a look at our Orbeez beans, which is beans cooked with bacon, bourbon, barbecue sauce. Emphasis on the barbecue. It's going to smell like I do when I come back from camp with scouts. So yeah, so what we've got here is our bacon. Right, this is special bacon that has been home cured by Rusty's Rustic Pantry.
It's our secret recipe.
This is all the offcuts really of the belly pork that's used to make the, it just smells heavenly. It's been hickory smoked and it is absolutely divine. So what we've done is we've cut all the little grizzly bits off the ends, we've cut off and just chopped up into these nice small chunks. So we're going to fry them off. Let's fry them off. We need some onion. We're going to just chop an onion up, just cube it, dice it, and then we're just going to fry that off.
Do you know, Steve? You look quite fetching in that top and that. You know.
Thanks.
Just thought I'd throw it into the mix. You know.
Yeah, well, you're not my type, like, but. So for the onion, just standard onion, chop the ends off, chuck them in the bin, get rid of the skin. Some people say I take too much onion off, but do you know what? I don't like it all. just take the top little bit off. Okay, so we've got all that's off, not quite, it's nearly there. And same with that one.
There you go, that's easier.
Look at that. Rustic, rough and ready.
Rustic, rusty.
That's what we like, rough and ready. Don't like smooth, nice, good looking stuff. Let's do this. All we're going to do is just chop it down. Not quite going all the way. Just into nice little chunks. And then we can just slice that as we go. Find your fingers on the last little bit.
Ste, dangerous James.
Quite often you'll find bits of my fingers in my cooking, which is always interesting. So we do the same with this one. I love onion. Absolutely love red onion.
It's nice and sweet, isn't it?
Just love it.
A lot sweeter than a white onion.
Oh yeah. Again, just slice that through.
I mean, what we're looking for with these beans is just something that's really sweet, gooey, a little bit of acidity from the onion, but we don't want to detract because there's going to be an awful lot of flavour coming from our little secret ingredient we're going to add in a few minutes.
So what we've done now,
apart from the bacon.
yeah. So what we've got there is onions, like I say, little cubes, they'll bake down a little bit, they'll just add to the flavour, go in with the beans and the bacon. So I haven't got a proper frying pan, so good old trusty wok. You've got a wok, any pan.
Do you know what, mate? I think woks are brilliant because
I cook everything in that.
I know they disperse the heat so well, don't
Yeah.
they? You know, they make such an even cooking surface. They're brilliant.
Saturday morning, full English breakfast in a wok. Saturday
Really?
yeah, Saturday
How
night.
can you not ask me to come around for a full English breakfast then?
Because it's either early or late.
I can do early or late, I'm not
Yeah.
bothered.
And then Saturday night, give it a bit of a wash, chilly. Saturday night's one pan, all day. So just let that heat up a little bit, nice dry heat. And then the first thing we're going to throw in is the bacon. Just have a little spatula out just to give that a bit of a toss, so to speak.
You were.
Right. We're just going to throw that in, that's all in.
That's a sound you like to hear, isn't it? That's a sound you love to hear.
Sizzle my
Especially
sausage.
when someone says bacon.
So that's just dry heat, absolutely no oil whatsoever. Just let the fat of the bacon crisp up, all the juices out. Just give that a couple of seconds and then we'll just toss the toss the onions in.
If you bung onions in now, they'll caramelise up, won't they? They would sweet, we will have that smokiness with the bacon in a little while, and that's the first stage of doing our beans.
Yeah.
We'll let them cook off and we'll come back in a couple of seconds, yeah?
Yeah. We stand and move back behind you, so a couple of minutes.
Smashing. How's that coming on, Steve?
That is looking superb.
It
So we're going to
smells absolutely awesome.
give a whiff.
I'm not being funny, but you can't buy bacon like that from a shop.
I've got it. I'm going.
No. Let's go with the beans.
It's
Go on,
gone.
mate, you're out of order.
It's gone.
You are so out of order. Yeah, go on.
Tiny bit. One tiny bit of bacon.
That's just to make sure.
Oh.
So what we're going to do, first of all, so that's our bacon and onions, just fried off. There's loads you can see. That was dry pan that there. Look at all that juice. We're not going to waste that. So what we're going to do,
That's liquid gold right
yeah. So we've got a nice crock pot with a lid. So this is where we're going to do the beans in. Slightly different to normal. I'm a scout. I love fire, love the outdoors, anything I can cook outdoors. Mentioned full English before. Full English,
On a frying
on a
pan,
frying
fire.
pan, open fire, roast dinners, the whole way. I love it. So slightly different. What we're going to do, exactly the same as what you might do on a barbecue, on a bonfire, on a campfire. I'm going to whack that all in there. That's all in the pan. Last little bits.
Don't you waste any of that flavour, mate.
There we go. So that's all in. Lose the pan. Don't need that anymore. It's look at all that. So that's in there. So next, what we've got is some molasses sugar. There's a box full, 500 grams. We're probably going to use about half of this, do you reckon? About half?
Yeah, use about half, yeah. Careful because the bags split quite easily on them. I've ended up with sugar all over the floor.
Right, the cat will love it.
Oh yeah. That's unrefined stuff. That is the equivalent of liquid black extract as near as you can buy in a supermarket. So bear in mind what we're doing here today. Although most of the time we try to cook outdoors and do all the really rustic stuff, this is everything you can buy from supermarkets, apart from our special ingredients like the bacon we make ourselves.
If you've noticed, not once I reach for the scales. Don't do scales.
We don't measure anything.
Don't even get the scales in the bathroom.
Ingredients.
Not even the scales in the bathroom.
It's against our beliefs. It's by texture, feel, and taste.
So that's
if anybody thinks they need to measure ingredients, then I'm sorry, but you know, I'm going to use a horrible term, but they're being a little bit alien.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey ho, that's
everybody has different tastes. Everybody has different likes. So we just cook the way we like and the way that we think our family, well, that we know that our families like, and that's what we do.
So what we've got in here, I hate this stuff. Just chopped tomatoes in a packet. You can throw one of them in. Yeah, we're cheating, but I don't care. Make life
Well,
easy.
it's not really cheating. I mean,
make life easy for yourself.
You know, do you really want to go down to the market and buy tomatoes and to go in beans and you know churn them up in a food processor?
So just one of them for now.
Just a little bit of time saving.
Just one of them for now. See how that goes. If we need to put more in, we can do. So alright, to get the smoked barbecue flavour, as well as the smoking on the bacon, and that sugar and those tomatoes, all sat in there, looking all lovely. What we're going to use is some smoked paprika. I think this is Russ's favourite stuff. He uses this in everything.
Oh yeah, I love pepper.
It's lovely. So massive spoonful of that. Do you reckon?
Yeah, fine mate.
There we go. We'll just do the one for now and give it a bit of a go on a bit.
What we'll do is, what we're doing is we're building layers of flavour. Okay, we're looking at sweetness, we're looking at smokiness, we're looking at a little bit of heat. So when we get all this, before we add the beans in, we'll taste it, we'll make sure we're going along the right lines. And tasting food as you cook is absolutely paramount. There's no point putting food together into a dish or a bowl or whatever without tasting it, because you just don't know what you're serving up. You know.
Right, so
which one's that?
We've got two. So we've got smoked paprika powder and we've got smoked paprika powder. One's sweet and one's hot. Don't get these confused.
Yeah.
You will know about it.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, the sweet one, we're just going to put a whopping big spoon in. Just open it up. Yeah.
I can smell it from here.
Another big, massive spoonful.
That's a sweet one, yeah?
Yeah, that.
You sure? Double check.
That is definitely sweet. I knew that was a sweet one, don't worry. But
tell
that's
you
the hot one.
That's
3 chilies.
Yeah.
3 chilies normally means you're not having a good day tomorrow. So what we're doing is that one. There's a definite difference
you
in
can
the thing.
smell the difference.
So we're not going to use a lot on this. Just a little tiny little bit.
Yeah.
We can always add
If
more
you didn't use
later.
that, if you didn't use that, you could use cayenne pepper. But again, that carries a smokiness over as well.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking at building these layers of smoke and heat, sweetness.
Yeah. And one thing my dad's always told me, he's not a big cook, but everything as well, is you can add things, you can't take things out. So
Exactly.
just a little bit, little by little, and then chipotle now.
Yeah.
Or a bit later.
No, put the chipotle. Now these are dried chili flakes. You find with dried chilies, they're not as hot as what they would be in reality. I'd double that, mate.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So that's all they are. So we just
I'll
probably
put double that.
about that much.
Yeah, go on.
Just throw them in.
And
There
then
you go.
we've got on there, go on. Give it a little bit. Just that little bit.
Oh, see that. That's not wasted. There we go. In you go.
Okay, now what we need to add to that is some stock.
Yeah. Which we've still got left
Well,
over.
you've still got some beef stock left
There
over.
we go.
which
Still got
that's
some
lovely.
left over from
That's worked out really well.
sort of half of that. Do you reckon?
Well, it's pouring quarter for now. And you give it a bit of a stir. Let's give it a bit of a mix up and see how we go. Now, normally at this point, I would think about adding balsamic vinegar.
Right. I may have some in the cupboard. There.
Really, if not, maybe some red wine vinegar or white wine vinegar, because as long as with the sweetness and the smokiness, you want to add a little bit of tang as well. What have we got there, Steve?
So I've got a bit of malt. Oh, look at this! Look at this!
Yeah, do you know what? I just knew I could rely on you from the start.
It was next to the apple pies and the warm biscuits.
Brilliant, superb. Now, this is obviously going to be the base from beans. I'll put probably a little bit more stock in there as well.
It's looking a little bit thick.
Yeah. Because remember, it's going to cook for probably an hour or so it's going to reduce quite down. Oh mate, that is smelling so good. Do you know what? I haven't had anything to eat all day, I'm starving. Believe it or not, despite my size, I very rarely eat during the day, and I think
I am a 3 square meal a day man, and this is just heaven. This is absolute heaven. I think on
maybe a
top
little
of
bit more stock.
Yeah, and then we go for the tomato puree.
Yeah, I think you probably want about half that tube.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Just a bit of tomato flavour just adds to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's looking good. I like that.
Have a taste of it. Get a little metal spoon, have a taste, see what you think. Because we've got the special ingredients going in it.
Come on. We're friends, we share.
Yeah, I'll trust you.
The smoky flavour in that is just, oh no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Alright. We're on the right path.
Definitely needs, but
it's a long and winding road, yeah.
Definitely needs
I
some of
reckon
this.
probably put about half that in there. Oh yeah. Give it a good stir.
Yeah, just remember, less is more.
Oh yeah. Unless you're talking about alcohol.
Mate, don't get me started.
You know, I'm quite of the opinion that alcohol is a blessing in some circumstances, especially when it comes to food. Because let's look at things. How often do you look at food where there's no drink? Food is always with drink.
Indeed.
That could be a cup of tea, or it could be a large JD and Coke. You know.
Could be. It could be. A bit of vinegar.
Right, let's have a little quick taste. Hang on. Got to
Reckon?
be right. Yeah. The only thing I say that is because balsamic. Now you can really taste that tomato in there now, actually. You don't want to go too heavy-handed with the balsamic because that will overpower the sauce that the beans are cooked in. So I would say,
Just a splash, right?
depends what do you call a splosh?
It's a splash. Splash and a splash splashes a lot.
So what's the difference between a splash and a splosh?
A splash you get wetter.
I'll go for a splash then.
A splash.
Yeah, go for a splash. Yeah,
A bit of a splash is probably...
a bit more than that.
Yeah.
Twice that, I reckon. Go on, a bit more. Right, now give that a bit of a whiz.
That's getting onto a splash for me.
No, that was more of a splash for me. So your idea of a splash is different from my splosh, because my splosh is not your splash. But then if we're talking about a splash, what's the difference between a splosh and a
You just
splash?
nearly had me doing the first Gordon Ramsay moment. I have a potty mouth.
I've actually cooked with Gordon Ramsay via via an internet link, and it was rather embarrassing. I mean, he doesn't know me from Adam, but you know, it's an old show. How are we going now?
Ooh. I like that.
That has made a complete difference.
I like that.
I think there's enough in there.
Yeah, I think it's beans.
We can adjust it
Yeah.
later.
I
But
think
yeah, I
beans.
think beans go in there and it goes in the oven.
Yeah.
I don't think we need any more of the tomato or anything like that.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. That tomato, for me,
Do you think it
pushed
needs
it
a
the
little bit
wrong
more
way.
chipotle?
Do you reckon?
I'll give it a teaspoon more of chipotle.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
You're dangerous. You call me dangerous.
No, you're dangerous because you play with knives and end up cutting yourselves. I'm dangerous because I there you go, Yeah, super. Because bear in mind the beef's going to be quite tender and mild and sweet, because we've got 1 or 2 ingredients going on top of the beef in a bit, which are our more secret add-ons.
Yeah.
So the beef's going to be quite sweet. But yeah, I need to taste that again. I'm sorry. Oh, I've just got some of that chili.
Yeah.
Chipotle chili.
I love to do stuff like this to me. Oh,
There's more smoke in that now.
I like that.
Yeah.
Right, so here we've got 3 types of beans. You've got to remember the butter beans,
It's butter beans,
kidney beans,
and
some-
haricot. I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's only 3 different types.
So yeah, we're just playing around with different textures, different types of
in a
beans.
bowl, and that is all just going to get slopped in.
Now, the big thing is with beans, a lot of people say, oh, you've got to soak your beans overnight. Yeah, fair enough. That might be a little bit much, but
No, not too much.
do you know what? You really do have issues of portion control, don't you? Yeah, you do. Be honest.
Yeah.
You've got a problem.
The problem is I've never got enough.
Yeah.
2 hands and 1 mouth.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure whether we need to
I'm starting to agree with you.
seek some sort of like professional help for you, you know?
No.
Eyes bigger than tummy. Really?
Nay.
Could I do that? Hang on a minute.
Nay.
Eyes bigger than tummy. Look at me. Could I really have eyes bigger than a tummy?
Right.
If I had 10 eyes, my eyes wouldn't be bigger than my tummy.
So that's your beans, in with the sauce. What we're going to do, lid on. Do what we didn't do before.
What?
Like the oven.
Warm it up, mate. We've got plenty of time to cook along with the ribs.
So I'm going to put that on around about the same temperature. Alright, it's going to a cold oven, ideally a warm oven, but yeah, well.
Hang on. Whoa. What's that? What have you got? What have you forgotten?
Oven gloves.
No, what have you forgotten?
Ah, the 3rd B, the 4th B. The 4th B.
You leave me in charge of things for 2 minutes, and this is what happens.
Barbecue beans
Bourbon.
with bourbon.
Now, this is the most crucial part of the recipe because you have to be so careful when you're measuring this into the beans.
That's our rummage. Yeah.
I need a couple of shot glasses. I forgot. Oh, here we go. As if by magic. As if by magic, upon miraculously appears. So we have 2 shot glasses. Remove that, please. We have a substantial amount of decanted bourbon.
I'm posh.
He's posh. You pour 1 shot glass, 2 shot glass. For this size of dish,
It's all about the beans.
it's all about the beans and the bourbon.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Good health.
That's the measuring done.
I thought we should have got in there.
That'll do. Where'd you buy that from?
Which, the bourbon or the
bourbon.
glass? That's a bit of the old famous Jack.
Oh my word.
Only the best. So what we're going to do,
Incidentally, we are not promoting drinking alcohol. We're just saying that chefs do have certain privileges.
you've got to taste.
Then again, we're not chefs.
Speak for yourself, sunshine. Right, so in the oven we go. So that's warming up nice.
Super.
Squeeze in there. We'll close that over. And then in about another 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer, what we'll do is we'll come back, we'll whack them both out, and hopefully we should be having a bit of a feast.
We'll have a little bit of polenta before then as well.
Yeah. But in
The
the
thing
meantime-
about polenta is neither of us have actually cooked with it, so
I never heard it until today.
no, you've never heard of it. But
So what we're going to do is we're going to go outside, do my second favourite thing, light a fire, and then we'll be back in about an hour.
Should we do some
See
washing?
you then.
Should we do some washing up as well?
No.
Go on, I'll do the washing up. Go on. We've had the beef in the oven for how long now?
What, 2.5 hours? No, 2 hours. 2 hours.
2 hours.
Well, 2 hours 15 minutes.
Yeah. So we're going to be looking to finish off the beef. The beans have been in the oven as well. All we've done since you last spoke to us, we've had a little bit of corn flour and water to the beans to thicken up a little
And
bit.
a bit of food. We've had a bit of food.
Oh yeah, we had a bit of food. Hopefully you've seen that on some of the photos and videos that Ste have taken. We've been cooking a little bit of beef out on the fire there. That's how we normally cook, how we love doing our stuff. But unfortunately, I don't think Channel 4 would probably like us lighting things up in their studio where things can catch fire. So that's just something we've done because, to be perfectly honest, we were hungry. Anyway, so what we're looking at now, we're just going to make up a little bit of a glaze to go over the beef. It's going to be nice and sticky. Where's your hat? What have you done with your hat? I spent a fortune buying you a hat. You've got rid of it. Just can't get the staff these days, you know. Really can't. Anyway, so a little bit of a glaze. I'm going to start off with a little bit more of the. What's that? A little bit of the molasses sugar. You look great in that, you know. You really do. You really do. You really do.
I could appreciate them comments.
So we've got a little bit of the molasses sugar. To that, I'm going to add a little bit of tomato puree. Again, we tend not to measure things doing this. It's all by flavouring.
If it looks right,
Taste
it's
and-
probably wrong.
Yeah, true. To that, we're going to use some of the sweet paprika. If I can open it.
Spoon.
Thank you. I'm going to use about half a teaspoonful of the sweet paprika. To that I'm going to add the same amount of smoked paprika. And I'm also going to add some garlic granules as well. Use the one that's open. It's the easiest one. Probably about 1/4 teaspoon. Now, the other thing I'm going to add to now is what I think is one of our secret ingredients is black treacle. You either love it or hate it, but when it comes to sticky coatings on food, it's absolutely superb. It really does. It helps stick the mix to the food you're putting it to, but it also adds this really sort of like unusual licorice sort of taste. So what I'm going to do is try and put in
Another spoon.
hang on, just try. I mean, that is just like, really? That's so sticky. Do you want to put a big spoonful in there because I've got it all in my hands? It's like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it.
It's nothing like Marmite. I hate Marmite.
Oh, I love Marmite. Marmite and toast. Oh. How we doing? I'll try and scrape some out with a fork, shall I? Because I'm going to mix it with a fork. So we'll get it off in there. Yeah, I'll let you get rid of
Throw a
that.
spoon in there just in case we need some more.
Do you want some more in there?
No, just keep.
Go. Just save a spoon.
A little bit more. A little bit more. I suppose you could actually use honey instead.
Oh, how are you talking?
The only thing is, honey tends to be more runny. It doesn't have the quite, it doesn't have the same licorice sort of flavour to it.
Although, if you recall, we've had these discussions of debating getting some bees, in which case we will have our own rustic honey. And yeah, give it a go from there.
So what I'm doing, I'm just mixing this all together now with a spoon, a fork. And if you notice as well, with everything we've done today, we haven't used that much salt.
No.
There's not been a great deal of salt in the food that we've done here. And this takes a bit of mixing together. And I suppose really, if you're really stuck, you can probably put your wallpaper up with it. But but what we're looking for is something that's really, really gooey that we can put over those ribs. Because the last part of the cooking for the ribs is going to be done open. We're going to take the foil off. I'm going to let the heat get to the ribs, and we want this to caramelise and go really sticky and gooey. Let's use fingers. So is that it?
Got
Yeah,
a really strong smoky taste.
Yeah.
We do a little bit more.
Of what?
Smoke.
More smoke?
I like smoke.
You like smoke. Do you want more paprika in it?
Yeah.
Which one? Do you want some heat or do you want some normal?
No heat.
No heat?
Sweet or smoky.
Sweet or
smoky.
smoky.
Go for smoky. Go for smoky.
Okay, we'll put a bit more smoke in.
Because you know me, every smoke, I love a nice bit of smoke.
Just try and keep them happy. That'll do. Hey? Okay.
I just point out that scraping of the fork on the bottom of the bowl. Not a fan.
You know,
Not a fan.
you're saying you're an edge, does it? Yeah. But,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like the old fingernails down blackboards. Don't you like that?
No.
You,
Not a fan.
Well,
Genuinely not a fan.
where you go, Steve?
Genuinely not a fan.
Right, try that, see what you think.
Yeah.
Better?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what we're going to just coat the tops of the ribs with, just for the last little bit of their cooking. And the only thing we've got now left to do is make up the polenta. So we'll be back within just a second or two. We'll put this out of the way, we'll clean down, and we'll get the polenta underway, and hopefully when the polenta's cooked, the ribs will be ready to have the goo on, a better word, the glaze. The beans will be nicely thickened up, and we'll be ready to serve up and show you what Rusty's Rustic Pantry can do.
Indeed.
See
See you shortly.
Okay. Right, so we've got to the point now, it's been 2 hours or thereabouts with the beef ribs and braising away. So I'm going to take them out now.
I'm looking forward to this bit.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm really scared. Anyway, so what they need from here is the glaze that we've made up for them. Needs to be drizzled over them. Oh wow, they smell amazing. Oh my god. And they weigh a ton. I really should have we do have a problem with portion control, have you noticed that?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Ouch. Oh wow.
Oh yes.
You've got a thing in there, you can just
Just in that bite anyway.
exactly.
Oh, look at that.
Wow. Right, so what we need to do is transfer these into
Oh, mate.
a dry tray. Oh, they're just falling apart. They really are. Oh, look at that.
That's easy.
Oh, that's. I really want to try and keep them all together, but it's just not going to happen. they're that cooked. I think what we'll have to do is put them on the side, like so, and then. Oh, that's a monster. That is just.
That's grown. It's T-Rex like.
Yeah, we're going to put these in. I think they've just completely they're that well cooked through. They literally have just fallen apart. The meat is just fallen off the bone. Wow. Even better than I sort of like imagined, really. And this last one, I mean, it's like a dinosaur leg.
Yes.
That's mine.
Okay. Oh, no. T-Rex.
I mean, look at the size of that. That's just ridiculous. That really is. Okay, so we'll put them on the side like that. We'll reserve that juice. What we're going to do now is use our glaze.
So just put this over the other side.
Yeah, that's probably my wife actually said to me, "What are you doing? Why aren't you back home yet?" So we're going to put this liberally all over the ribs. Wow. That's just awesome.
That'll just melt onto it, won't it, and spread out a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully it'll spread out, it'll caramelise, it'll thicken. I mean, it's thick now, like, but it'll go dead sticky. And what's the word Rick Stein uses? Unctuous. He uses unctuous, and it's an unusual word, but it conjures up
Thought of delight.
yeah, it's just oh god, you can smell this stuff going on in there. I mean, the only thing with ribs are there is quite a bit of fat content in ribs, but
Don't worry about that. Just do not worry about that.
it's like pork ribs. You get fat with pork ribs simply because of the size of beef ribs. Well, I think we're going to need a spoon to get the rest of this out, mate. There's one knocking around. We need to get this all over these ribs. Look at that. Oh, can't lose that. That's just. Oh. We had a little. Obviously, you saw on the video that Steve took earlier on. You know, we cooked a little bit of the beef off on the fire. Really regret actually having eaten it because I think it's going to spoil my appetite for this.
No, it was a good starter.
It's a good start.
Good starter.
So get all this out. No, look at that. Right, I'm going to try and show you this now with these ribs where I've got this.
Should we bring the camera over?
Yeah, go on, bring a camera over. Let's have a little look at it. Wow. Wow. So there's only 4 ribs in here, bear in mind. We've got all this lovely caramelised, well, will be caramelised, all this glaze that will go over them. It'll run everywhere when it heats up. We're going to put it straight back in the oven now. For the last sort of 15-20 minutes of cooking, Steve's going to knock up the polenta. The beans, do you want to show the beans bubbling away in the...
Oh yeah.
Have a look at these beans just bubbling away. Look at them. Yeah, we do have issues with portion control, don't we?
No, keep telling you, no issues.
There's only 2 of us. Yeah. Anyway, let's get these back in the oven. 15 minutes or so. Steve's going to knock up a nice cheesy polenta that these ribs are going to sit on top of with this lovely, hopefully, if things go according to plan, this lovely dark gooey bark on top of the ribs, and that's going to be one of our dishes that hopefully we're going to win the competition with. Who knows? But this is one of our efforts. Talk to you in a couple of minutes.
Okay, so we've got a pan of water going with some polenta in. I've never cooked this before. It looks like, well, I don't know, it looks like
Well, no, right, that's why I've given it to you to do.
watery mango, really, but it's just on a heat. So we're going to give this a go. Well, quite thick. We want a nice bed for the ribs to sit on. I'm just giving it a bit of a whisk. Once I think it's starting to get somewhere, what we do is we take it off the heat, put a bit of seasoning to it.
Should we get it nice and thick?
I think so. It's not quite anywhere near there yet.
No.
It needs more heat.
More polenta.
Polenta or plenty.
Plenty of polenta.
I don't know, you know, that's starts to pick it up.
Is it? It's bubbling well.
Fondue cheese.
See, this is the the sort of limb we're going out for you guys on Channel 4 and for doing this show. You know, we're trying new stuff live for you. You know, personally, I would have rather had mashed spuds and gravy, but there you go. I'm a basic lad. Yeah,
I think it needs a bit more.
yeah, I'll turn it down a little bit as well, because
Looping.
yeah. You've got a whisk.
I don't know.
Might be a bit off with the whisk if you've got one knocking about.
No.
That might be a no, folks at home.
I've got a monkey.
Why have you got a monkey in your drawer?
It's one of them bag tie things. Got its tail through its mouth. So it looks like a poor tongue.
You carry on with that. I have never ever, in my life, seen a monkey in a kitchen drawer. I really don't know what that is. Apparently it goes through the back there and...
Phil, yeah.
Hey?
What you do? Look at this.
I told you that you might need more of that,
Yeah, but it's magic. Watch.
Go on.
Once we shove it through there. Pull his tongue. There you go.
I'd just like to apologise to WWF, the World Wildlife Foundation, that not all monkeys actually look like that, with huge gelatinous tongues sticking out of their mouths. I don't think that's really nice to represent monkeys. I love monkeys. Even though the last time I went through the baboon enclosure at Noisy Safari Park, they did actually rip out my indicators, my car, and my windscreen wipers. So let's see how Steve's getting on. Do you know this?
Look how gloopy, he's looking gloopy.
I think Gloopy needs to be more gloopy.
Got more gloopy gloop
He
there.
needs more gloop.
Right. Sure before that I was my fan of scratchy things. My father decided.
It needs more gloop. A lot more gloop. It needs to be thick. That's better. Have you put any seasoning in yet?
No?
Do you want me to sort that out for you?
Yeah.
Right. I will sort that out for you as soon as I locate this
Salt and pepper is there.
Ah, there you go. Wunderbar. That's better. It needs to be sort of like the old, potato mash sort of consistency.
More bodger and bodger.
Yeah, I do,
Everybody knows bodger loves mashed potato. It looks like that.
Bit of salt. Some pepper. I think we want it sort of like the consistency of a decent mashed potato, sort of without having all the carbs of a mashed potato.
I think that's got it.
That ain't bad. Right, I'll tell you what then, how about some parmesan?
Yes. I think we
Should
keep
we
that
some
off the
parmesan?
heat, don't we? Keep it off the heat.
Cheesy polenta?
That's
Go on.
Throw it in.
If we must. So, I'm going to cheat, I'm using the stuff we bought in the...
Not too much because that does smell like smelly feet.
Yeah, but I like it.
No, put it in.
Oh, come on, man.
Put it
Really? Here you go. There's half a pot.
in.
Oh, it really does smell like smelly feet.
It doesn't smell like smelly feet to me. I like it, I think that's great. Oh. You've not done a bad job there, Steve. Do you have a taste before
You
we
sound surprised.
You need to taste it before we go. Now, as a substitute for mashed spud,
For gloop.
for glue, do a little taste. Needs more salt.
You reckon?
Yep, definitely. Definitely needs more salt. Trouble with polenta is if you're not careful, it can be really, really, really plain. Okay, so that goes.
It's smelling better than it did before.
Do you know what's tasting brilliant? That's
Yeah,
great.
that plays a lot.
Right, this is where the fun really begins. Okay, so plate and spoon. Do you have a large?
That's probably well.
That'll do. That's fine. Right. Bear in mind, this is Rusty's Rustic Pantry. We're not going to go for fine dining
Prettiness.
presentation. We will do our own interpretation of that. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to give a nice little portion of polenta in the middle of the plate. We really do need to look at portion control, don't we? So, wow, if we just move that out of the way, 'cause I
Yeah,
need
it's
someone
not back on the
to,
stove.
oven gloves.
Hang it up.
Right. So, our beef. Wow.
Looks absolutely divine.
It's a good job we've got other family members we can take this stuff home to eat, because otherwise it's an absolute shocking waste of food. So from that we have our polenta. I'm going to flatten that out a little bit. We'll put on one of our, look at how sticky that rib has gone. Look at that, oh wow. So we'll put it on our cheesy polenta. Give it a little bit of a push down. There we go. Oh wow. We need the beans out now, my friend.
The beans. What do you know about the beans?
The
John?
beans, the beans. Yes, let me move these ribs out of the way. Thank you, mate.
Oh, look at these bubbling away.
These off. Just looking for what I've done with the spoon again. Wow. Look at that. I don't know what to do. Good rinse.
Oh, so yeah. There you go.
Thank you. What can I do? What can I do? Wow. This is thickened up lovely. Bit of a stir around. Really? Wow. going to be eating this for a month, you know.
Just delve in. Delve in. Get a big spoon.
Look at that thick, beautiful barbecue bacon and whiskey beans. Oh, let's just bring your kitchen towel, mate.
Kitchen towel.
Thank you. I know it's maybe not chefy, but
If that was me, it would be dolloped on.
we'll try and make it as nice as
It
possible.
would be dolloped on.
So, in 2¼ hours, there is, for you, Rusty's Rustic Pantry. You see this, Steve?
Yep.
Come on, get in the middle of this, come on. Because this is gold. Yeah? We have braised, barbecued beef ribs on a bed of cheesy polenta with mixed bean, barbecue, baked bean, bourbon and bacon beans. Now how can you resist that? Look at that.
Can't for much longer. I'm
I know.
sorry.
And we've got loads left over, so if any of you are in Liverpool within the next half an hour,
Good luck.
give us a shout, and if there's any left over,
Right,
come join us.
let's go in. Some polenta, some beans.
So try and be those beans are like.
Yes. Yes.
Let's take this beef apart. Hang on. Got to look at this beef. I've got a massive dollop of beans on the serving there. Look at that. So there's our beef rib with this lovely, look at that lovely sticky glaze that's gone in there now, and it's just pulling away from the bone. Look at that. Okay, who says you have to cook beef ribs for 4 hours? Absolute rubbish. Absolute. Oh. Wow. I know we're blowing our own trumpet here, but this is just superb. That polenta firmed up lovely underneath it. It's absolutely. Yeah. Wow. See, come here. Yeah.
I'm coming.
Listen, you come over to take it. I'll take over the camera. Go on. You sort yourself out on that.
Right.
How do I take this off here, Steve?
Oh,
Sorry, I've got it sorted yet. Let me come over there and just get on this, because this is just awesome.
It's divine, I mean. Just
Look at that. It just pulls away from the bone. You don't even need a knife, just use your fork.
No,
It's
no
like
effort
pulled
whatsoever.
pork, innit?
No effort.
just. Where's the face? Where's the face? Where's the face? Oh, look at that. That's a happy face.
That's good. That's good, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we don't get through to the competition, this is a Rusty's Rustic Pantry video that will go on to our YouTube page. I'm Russ, he's Ste. Hey Ste.
cheers, guys. Thank you.
I'm Russ. It's Rusty's Rustic Pantry. Okay, and we will be cooking more up for you regardless of what happens, okay? Because our food is passion, and if you don't have passion in life, what's the point of living? Everybody take care, God bless, keep safe, and enjoy living the life of food and enjoying food and drink wherever you are. Good night, take care.